Now, it's been a troubling month for US software management company FileNet. This week, the firm was forced to cut its quarterly profit targets for the second time in 1 month. Second quarter forecast met its lowered targets, but third quarter profits are now expected to be around half original expectations. Let's get more. We're joined now by Lee Roberts, the CEO of FileNet. Lee, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I guess in some ways it's been a bit of a tough week for you because on Monday you came out and said, look, we'll have to forecast a little bit lower for the third quarter. What's going on here? Is it just harder to close deals than you thought?
Well, I think in general, our business is in robust shape, remain profitable. We've had double-digit growth in 6 of the last 8 quarters. The last quarter was difficult for all enterprise software companies. And in general, there's no one reason that any of us have found for that. It seems like the larger deals are a little bit harder to close, maybe a result of implementation of Sarbanes-Oxley and deflection of interest on the part of large companies. Also could be some overspending for software in Q4 and Q1. But overall, our view long-term for the market is quite healthy. We think the space is going to grow from $2.5 billion to $10 billion. We're the market leader. We continue to be profitable, generate cash, and we have a very large pipeline of opportunities. So I'd like to think that Q2 will be a blip. I think at this point, until we get a little further information, we've taken a conservative view with guidance for Q3. But there's a lot of business out there, and we're chasing it.
How long do you think before you get a sense that the people who didn't close on these deals that were pretty close, presumably? I mean, they went a long way down the path, did they?
Some of them have already closed. Right. Quite a few of those we expect to close this quarter. Yeah. And additionally, obviously, we have new opportunities. So the reason for our conservatism, quite frankly, is along with the other companies that missed, none of us have a clear understanding as to why there were so many large companies that opted very late in the quarter to defer spending. And we felt it'd be better to be conservative in the short term, even though we're very optimistic in the long term about the business.
Is there any, I asked you when there's a presidential election coming up, would that affect at all your space? I mean, would it affect, I know you sell software that's quite connected to regulatory affairs, and I just wonder whether that would kind of put CEOs or people in a different kind of mind. I don't know why it would, but...
Yeah, I don't think so. You might expect to see a slowdown in government spending, but actually in Q2, the government sector represented 26% of our business. I think the elections really don't have a huge effect on spending plans for large corporations. Those are really tied to capital investment decisions.
I mean, I suppose these are quite large capital decisions. Do you think that there's also an argument for saying, well, maybe we should concentrate a little bit more on providing some sort of, there are smaller things that companies can spend money on in the meantime?
Well, until Q2, what we actually saw was a return to normal IT spending. We started to see large banks, insurance companies, manufacturing companies invest again, looking to our products and other technology company products as a boost for productivity. Personally, I think this may be a temporary slowdown. As I talked to our customers at the end of the quarter, I didn't detect any major economic factors, any trends towards reduction in spending. I think this may well just be a short-term issue that we have to deal with. Obviously it isn't specifically a FileNet problem. So our focus is on what I can do going forward. Yeah. Our focus on closing business and getting back on track.
And how does the change in corporate governance and the Basel II capital accord for banks, how is that going to shape the industry outlook from here?
Well, I think for us it provides a huge business opportunity, because as you look at compliance, as you know, there's a tremendous focus on records management, making sure companies have control over all of their business processes, have control over all the information and information assets within their business, that you get a hold of that information quickly. So I see down the road Basel II, Sarbanes-Oxley, all of the normal regulatory requirements as actually an impetus and a catalyst for our business, particularly around new products that we're introducing on the market, like records management.
Okay, well, Lee, always good to have you on. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your trip over this side of the pond.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Okay, pleasure. Lee Roberts, CEO of FileNet.